Hey guys, Aqua Duelist here. Before I do share this story, I do want to say thank you to Bearded Dragon CCG. Is a seller on Tgcplayer. This guy went above and beyond to fix this the missing package issue we had. And went as far as actually sending me his own personal copy of the cards I ordered, and actually sent me some extra stuff. I really appreciate that, man. That was You went above and beyond what most sellers would do. So I'm gonna link in the description down below to his storefront on Tgcplayer. If you guys would, please check out his storefront, and hey, if you guys would like to, maybe place an order with him. See, I was hoping maybe we can get him a few sales off of this. He actually didn't even ask me to do this. I wanted to do this as like a thank you kind of thing. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and jump into today's story time. First time I'm really doing this, so had this idea a while ago, and I'm gonna finally do it. So around the time of when A Assault Core actually got banned, I was going through my collection, and me being kind of a fan of like the old Yu-Gi-Oh cards from the first series and such. I found that I had kind of like some copies of the XYZ guys from the original Yu-Gi-Oh series that Kaiba used. Basically, the A to Z archetypes, what they're called, because you have the ABZs and the WV. So I found out that I had quite a bit of stuff for those guys and some stuff for it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of this stuff, and essentially just have something fun to play with when I'm bored. So basically what I had was 1 to 2 copies of each of the XYZ guys. I had 1 copy of like Catapult Cannon, something like that. And I actually don't think I had any of the ABCs. I think I traded those off before I decided to get them. So basically what had happened was oh yeah, and I had 2 copies of heavy mech support platform, armor. That is actually important. So I ended up deciding I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the stuff, and I went on Tgcplayer and found a seller that had quite a bit of it. And basically, I ordered all of the XYZ guys I was missing, the 1-2 copies of, the 2 copies of W, a playset of V, and the heavy mech support guys. Well, I got my order in I think like a week later, and some interesting stuff had happened. So instead of getting 2 copies of the Y Cannon guy, or Y, I think Dragonhead was Y actually. I can't remember exactly. I ordered 2 of him and only got 1. And same thing had happened with one of the other XYZ guys. I needed 2 copies of. I got 1 of each, and for some reason I got 5 copies of V Tiger Jet, which was really weird. I was just like, I don't know how you get this, but how you screw that up, but okay. And the heavy mech supports. So for some reason I got 2 copies of each, which was I got 2 copies of armor and 1 copy of platform. So I'm missing 2 copies of platform at that point. So it was really weird. I got my copies of W and the fusions. So I got pretty much all the fusions right. But for some reason I had 5 copies of V and an extra copy of heavy mech support armor and missing 2 copies of platform. So I contact the seller and they're just like, oh, well, we'll refund you. And this is where the snowball began. So basically what was going on was I found another seller, pretty much ordered everything I was missing, and they got it right, except for one thing. Instead of getting my platforms, I got armor. And then this continued for I don't know how many I went through must have been about like 6 different sellers. For some reason, I kept getting um, heavy mech support armor instead of platform, and it was really frustrating. And it's just kind of like, I don't like. Are you like? I don't know how this kept happening. Like, was it sellers just not paying attention? Sellers not caring? People or sellers just looking at like, oh, heavy, heavy support. Oh, okay, card. Even though it was clearly the wrong card. Heavy mech support armor and platform have completely different artworks and different effects. Other than the first part attaching to other monsters. And luckily, I never had really had any other issues with the ABC guys, except for some reason, one person sent me what you can call it. Instead of the copies of A, they sent me extra Bs. I don't know how that happened either. So like, it's really weird. It's just like sellers aren't paying attention to the Union monsters, of the A to Z archetype and the Union support it has. Uh, but finally, it came down to one seller who I was just missing the platform still. After like a month of just nonstop getting armors, I have 7 extra copies of heavy mech support armor. Actually, I don't think I have 7 anymore. I think I actually traded some off. So, but yeah, I had 7 extra copies of that card. It was ridiculous. I finally came across one seller, and their name was Nexus. I think it was Nexus Entertainment. They actually were cool and nice enough. I was like, could you guys just send me the platforms? Like, been dealing with this for like a month, and they were super cool about it. And they just went ahead and sent me the platforms. And they actually said that on their end, it was actually like a screw up in their system. So I guess their system for some reason went from platform to armor. I'm guessing that's basically what they were trying to say. But I mean, even with that, it's a little weird thinking about that, and I mean, I can understand it too. But I don't know what it was with the other sellers though. Like, especially the one that sent me like copies of V instead of like X and Y. I'm like, I don't know what's going on there. Like, there's some pretty crazy screw ups here. But yeah, so that's kind of the story about how that whole thing went down, and getting the Union monsters from the Legendary Collection Kaiba, because I was getting the Legendary Collection Kaiba reprints, was more frustrating than it should have been, and not simple. It took quite a lot of time, so yeah. So what do you guys think about this little story time video I have? If you guys would like me to do more, let me know. I'll share some other stuff. If you guys would like, give this video a like. Check out Bearded Dragon CCG's storefront on Tgcplayer. Link in the description below. Link in the description below to my Patreon and my Discord server, which is completely free if you guys want to join that. If you guys would like to, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to see more of my content, I do 4 or 5 videos a week. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.